Okay. And I was gonna say, so what do you think are then the most important investment decision drivers, or what are the most important drivers to decision making when someone is investing into property? So you've mentioned institutions. What do you think is their biggest, probably, I don't know, driver to them making that decision? Would it be the price appreciation in Melbourne, the opportunity in Melbourne? Because I think based on obviously the wisdom of the institutional investor, I think the community would benefit from or would want to learn how they do it, because at the end of the day, we're in the same world, but we're doing it at a different scale, if that makes sense. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Look, I think what I mentioned earlier, just fundamentals, like that's the key, right? Because your macro and micro fundamentals, if you're investing in property, ideally you're doing it for a long term
content.
play. Um, and you want to know then that there's going to be an upward trajectory in that
Yeah,
investment. So property fundamentals is number one.
yeah,
I think, for any, and I'm not a financial advisor, but any financial advisor would say, like, you've got to understand. So the second piece of driver would be like, what do you want to achieve out of the investment?
yeah,
So some people have a high salary, and they want to offset that with
so,
negative gearing. So property is a good investment. Some people are at a stage of their life, they're retiring and they want high income. Like you got to understand what your goals are in investing.
yeah,
But for me and my personal circumstance, I want negative gearing, I want some income, and I want capital appreciation. And that's why property is, a really, really good asset class to achieve those things. And the third, like, when you're actively purchasing something, you want to know like that you're getting good value, right?
yeah,
So just understanding how does it match against market price?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you don't want to like. It'd be nice to get an absolute steal of it, but really, like, if you're in it for the long term, market value, just make sure you're getting, aligned with market price.
market price. Okay, no, very nice. All right. Well, speaking of markets, now let's talk into what do you think? And we've touched on this a little bit earlier, but obviously, fractional ownership is a whole new market that we're opening up, and we're kind of just trying to see the uptake on it and the community and whatnot. And there's a lot of interest all around the world in kind of that market. And we've touched on it a little bit earlier, but I wanted to ask you again and just circling back into it. What do you think are the advantages of fractional real estate ownership?
Yeah, look,
Yeah,
I think it opens up the doors
yeah,
for so many investors that otherwise couldn't invest in property. Um, like we're turning, an opening, um, like a minimum purchase price from $500,000 to maybe $500.
wow.
There's
Yep,
such a difference in terms of the
yeah,
barriers to entry
yeah,
to invest in the same product.
yeah,
Just owning a smaller stake of it.
yeah,
That's really exciting. And then once you own a property, why you don't see a lot of trading in real estate is because it's really cumbersome. Like it takes a lot of time for someone to appoint a sales agent, get contracts drafted up and all this, and market the property and then find one buyer to buy this property. Like it's a lot of effort,
yeah,
both from a vendor's side and from a
yeah,
purchaser side.
yeah, yeah,
But for for a fractional ownership, there's reduced um, difficulties
yeah.
when trying to
To get in and
transact.
out
Like
of it. Yep, yep,
in and out, yeah, you got a price there, it's set. You can just sell it whenever you want to. Like that's what's the benefit of share market, but you're getting
yeah,
it in property.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. And
that's
obviously
what's
with
really
blockchain technology, the other advantages is also put it quickly. Like you get in and you can pretty much get out and cash out within a day and lock that money back at you. So even I know with the share market, you've got the whole T plus two, whatever It's
Yes.
your T plus 2 for settlement, whereas with crypto, it's pretty much almost the same day, and you can have it into stable and you can use it almost immediately. So that's a yeah.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's what's, so it's even better than share market if you think of it from that perspective. More liquid. It's more liquid. That's yeah. So to me, that's the crux of the advantage of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really, really exciting. I'm really hopeful that it kicks off and people see this as the new way of investing in property, especially.